Welcome to today's live video chat session. My name is Rich Allen, your business coach. Welcome to 2013. It's a great new year. I hope you had a great end to your 2012. I hope you had an opportunity to spend some good time with your family and friends over the holidays. And now you're ready to get fired up and get going in 2013. We're in the second week of the year, so we stand here on January 9th. I'm in Frisco, Texas. It's rainy outside. We need the rain. It's a great way to start the year off with some good moisture because Lord knows that later in the year in Texas, we're going to wish we even had more of it. So we're here, though, starting the second week of the year. And my goal this year as we work through our live video chat sessions here is to take you through each stage of the Tour de Profit, a 52-stage race to grow your business, with an intent to give you each week some specific tips on what you need to be doing this week to move your business along little by little each week to make it extraordinarily good by the end of the year. So we're not going to wait to try to build some big strategies or do some remarkable lifting at points in time during the year. We want to just take some opportunity every week to work on one aspect of your business to make it a little better. And this week, week 2, we're in stage 2 of the Tour de Profit, which is all about putting your plan in place for your business. And I hope that many of you already have your plan in place. You should be well along your way because we're already into the year, so hopefully you're executing your plan. But if you're not, or if you're still working on it, what I want to do is give you 6 specific steps that you can take to put together a very meaningful, action-oriented plan of action for your business in 2013. So these are 6 things that I think you have to do no matter what to get off and going in the year. So let me dive right in. Step 1. The first thing you have to do to put a plan in place for your business is make a decision that this year is going to be different than last year. You see, what most people do is that they spend all of their time going through the week just as if it were last week, and going through this month as if it were last month. And we're stuck in a routine. We're stuck in a rut, if you will. And what you need to do, first and foremost, is get your head in the right place. Get your mindset around this year is going to be different. So you have to understand what's it going to take for you to change some of the behaviors, change some of your habits, implement some new things. If you continue to do what you've done, you're going to continue to get what you've gotten. And this year's got to be different. So step number 1, make a decision. Make the decision to yourself that this year is going to be different. Step number 2, I want you to take the time, take a minute, pause if you will, and write down the news conference that you would give at the year end 2013, as if this year had already occurred, and now you're looking back on the year. What I want you to do is to write down the 5 things that you accomplished this year. So I know that may sound complicated, but all I want you to do is fast forward your thinking as if you were already at year end. 2013 has just passed. You're in December 31, 2013. You're addressing your team. You're addressing the press. You're addressing those people who are investors with you. And what you're sharing with them is, here's what we were able to accomplish this year. Here are the big things that we got done. Because I want you to get it in your mind. I want you to start to visualize your accomplishments. It's going to make it much more clear as you see them happen throughout the year. So that's step 2. Act like you're at a news conference and tell yourself, this is what I have accomplished this year. Number 3, you need to understand where you personally have strengths and where you personally could get better. So there are probably 10 or 12 different areas of your life, has to do with decision making, energy, focus, time management, your personal health, your relationships. They're delegating. There are any number of different areas in your life that you've got to be pretty good at. You've got to score a 7, 8, or 9 out of 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 in order to really be successful this year. And so I want you to think about all the different aspects. If you need a chart on that, let me know and I'll send you one. But it's a way for you to be able to be honest with yourself that, look, if I want things to get better this year, I need to improve personally in this area. Pick 1, 2, or maybe 3, no more, areas that you know you need to get a little better at. And work on your own self, work on your personal strengths before you go out and think you're going to implement some grand strategy to grow your business. Okay, that's step number 3. Step number 4, build your team. Ask yourself, as you sit here in the beginning of the year, are you surrounded with the kind of professionals that you need to actually do an excellent job in your business this year? And every business is a little different, but I can tell you, you need to have a CPA who you're totally confident in that can help and advise you throughout the year. You probably need to have a business attorney that you know, like, and trust, that is already on your team so you don't have to go find one if a situation arrives throughout the year. You need a financial planner that can help you make good decisions on your own personal finances so that you can be in a good place as you make money throughout the year in your business. You might need a commercial real estate person. You might need someone to help you, a coach or a mentor, somebody that can give you advice, will be honest with you, candid with you, and hold you accountable to getting things done. There's probably 6 or 8 people that you need around you because you don't have all the knowledge as a business owner to do this all yourself. So at the beginning of the year, if you want this year to be remarkably different than last year, then build your team. Make sure your team is solidly in place. If you don't have those positions, then it's time for you to get out, do some interviewing, and get to meet some of those folks and determine who's on your team in those key positions. Number 5, I want you to think about your year, think about your weaknesses, think about your team, think about what your big strategies and goals are, and I want you to think about what are the big rocks that need to go into your plan first. Most of us get trapped day to day doing things that matter less in our business. So what I want you to do is on your schedule, in your plan, as you're looking at your calendar throughout the year, I want you to put in those big things that matter most, the big rocks. Because if we get those in first, we can always pack a lot of smaller rocks and even some sand or gravel around it. But if we put the sand and gravel in first, we're never getting the big rocks in. And so everybody's got a different set of big rocks. If you're married and you want to stay married, one of your big rocks may be having some getaway time with your spouse. If you've got kids as they're growing up, you might want to make sure that you've got some dedicated time built in your calendar to focus on them because they matter more than the business, frankly. And then as you think about the business, there are some things you want to get done, those probably 2 or 3 big strategies. You got to make sure you block time in your schedule at work to work on those, or else you'll get sucked into the day-to-day and you'll never get to the big things that matter more. So number 5 is put the big rocks in first. And step number 6 to putting a plan together that will really work this year is to think about your year in 90-day buckets. 90 days is 13 weeks. We have 4 of them throughout the year, so we have 4 quarters of the year. I want you to break your year into the quarters. And really what I want you to do right now is I want you to think about what needs to happen in these next 90 days. So the first 13 weeks of the year. Because by the time you get to week 13, there will be many changes, and so you're going to need to reset your plan. And you're going to need to plan out the next 13 weeks. But the The issue that most people have is that they plan out the entire year. And then as they get partway through the year, they're so far off their plan, they just say, forget it, it's out of date, it doesn't matter anymore, and they throw it out and they go without a plan. And I don't want you to fall into that trap. I want you to think in 90-day chunks, 90-day, 13-week periods, and I want you to get your 90 days determined right now for what's going to happen over these next 13 weeks in your business. Okay? 6 things for you to do this week, stage 2, to get a plan in place for your business. Number 1, make a decision. Number 2, write out your year-end news conference. What did I accomplish this year? Number 3, take a personal assessment of what your strengths and your opportunities are personally. What do you have to get better at? Number 4, build your team. Make sure that you're surrounded with the kind of talent you need to really grow your business fast. Number 5, start with the big rocks. Put those in first. And number 6, think in 90-day blocks. You do these 6 things, and you're going to be off to a great start this year and build a plan that's going to be action-oriented, focused, and is going to really move your business along. I hope that's been helpful. If you've got questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Shout out. I'll be glad to help you. Make this a great week. Do the homework this week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week on our next session on our video chat. I look forward to talking to you then. Ride hard.